I am listening to music because there is something wrong with my DVD player. I don't know what's wrong with it, except that it's old as all get out. Um, it's I want to make sure you can't hear that music because I own nothing, none of it's mine, blah, blah, blah. So it's the radio. So I wanted to make sure you can't hear the music, but I had to have some kind of white noise. Usually, as you know, the TV or, well, not the TV because I don't watch television. The uh, a DVD is playing behind me, but for some reason I don't know the DVD player's acting stupid. So whatever. Let's put something else on my list of things I need, but I won't buy another DVD or anything like that until I move. I'm not gonna invest that kind of money until I move. Um yeah, that was I said something in one of my other videos about that I had the little FedEx ticket on my front door, and it was the my phone. It was my new phone. So I went over there this morning and got it, and I went to the office and got it, and then I charged it. Now I'm just waiting because I have to get online to switch it so I can have the same number. You have to do something. I don't know. I'll do it later. I don't feel like doing it now. Um, so I have to do that, and then I'll have a nice new phone. And the new phone is much nicer. It's the same what do they call it? Model. Well, no, it's the same kind of phone, but a much more updated model. It's much nicer. It's bigger. The buttons are bigger, because those buttons were just so tiny, and that's why I can't that's why I never went online on the phone, because, well, number one, I have a tablet. So I don't have, but that phone's too small, and I don't know how in the world those kids do it with those with those phones. They go online and then they type. It's all I can do to text, and I don't text those funny little hieroglyphics. I always text like whole words. People that get my text know that I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, that texting is comes in very it actually is very, very convenient, because if you remember something, or you just want to say, hey, where you guys at, or hey, I'm on my way, or or come down and open the door, or whatever, um I can you can just text it, and I have unlimited text. So I don't know, in the year 2115, what you guys will be doing. You'll have a chip in your head, and all you'll have to do is think what you want to do, and move your eyeballs or something, and you'll be able to communicate. But I won't be there to see it, but I've seen some pretty incredible things in just this 60-year stretch. I really have. The technology of a cell phone, that was a communicator on Star Trek, um, being able to take a picture. But I mean, even able to do this and then put it somewhere where millions of people could possibly see it. They're not going to, not right now, but you never know, because I look at some people when I'm on um start to say Facebook again. I don't know why I want to say that instead of YouTube, but I look at some of those things and they have a million views, million something views, 400,000 views, a lot of stuff like that. And, well, maybe one day, but I'm more impressed with the people that have like 400, 500, something like that. I think I've got 100 videos. I think I've got 220 hits, something like that. But that's fine. That's okay. I know why I'm doing this, and I'm happy with it. I'm very happy. And being able to have I mean, just the technology. I think what I'm trying to say is I don't take the technology um, for granted. I think it's just incredible. I just think it's just incredible. Some of the a camera in a telephone. Come on. Well, my phone doesn't do that. The only thing my phone does is go online, make phone calls, and text. That's all it does. And I can IM to it, and I can email to it. So, but that's it. Let's see. That's my grimy amours. Oh, everybody is probably sitting around right now starting to look at the football game. Our team is called the Seahawks, and it's American football, not what I call football, not soccer football. It's real. It well, not real, I guess. It's American football, and there. I think it's the divisional championship. I don't know. I don't think this is the thing where they find out who plays the Super Bowl. I think it's another game between that and this and something. I don't know. I don't know. Let's put it that way. I have no idea. I don't keep up with it like I used to. But I mean, you can hear a pin drop in this building. And when I went grocery shopping, everybody had on their little Seahawks stuff. Their colors are this kind of metallic blue and a sort of lime sort of green and another darker blue. I mean, it sounds ugly, but it's really actually quite beautiful. And the uh, the symbol, on the for the Seahawks is not a real bird. It's a kind of like a totem pole sort of thing. It's kind of a shout out to the native population around here. It's sort of a totem pole looking thing of a hawk with a uh, beak, like a hawk. And my prediction for the game, I made it the other day on Facebook. I think I said 31-14. Hawks, of course. Because they're very, very hard to beat when they play here. You really can't beat them when they play here because of the crowd, and the stadium has been so loud that it's actually registered as an earthquake. Actually, and that is no joke. It is actually registered that the noise is so loud, and they had actually accused um, them of amplifying the noise, but they're not. They're not amplifying the noise, and everybody's sitting around. But by yeah, I said 31-14 Hawks because we had an 11-point spread, you know, and I figure I think they're playing the Cardinals. I don't, as you can tell, I don't know. But that's what's going on today. And when I went grocery shopping, everybody had on Seahawks stuff. I didn't have anything. I don't think I even have anything. Actually, I have my carry-on luggage has a Seahawks logo and stuff on it. So, but I just liked it. I didn't particularly get it because it was the Seahawks. Well, yeah, I kind of did, but and it's kind of fun having that logo and sitting in the airport in Tokyo. And people know what it is. Seahawks, Seahawks, the Seattle, Suzuki, Ichiro. Well, because we had a famous Japanese baseball player named Ichiro, and oh, everybody was really crazy about him. He was a big star, and he transferred. That's not the word I'm looking. Went to another team. I think I want to say the Yankees. I'm not sure. And I was actually in Japan when he went to left the Mariners, that's our baseball team, and went to the Yankees, I want to say, and it was a big hubba bubba bubba, because everybody really liked him. So, and we don't have a basketball team because they left. Um, they were called the Sonics, the Supersonics, but they're trying to get another one. Well, they said the reason that they left was they didn't have a good enough stadium. I don't know if it was sour grapes because the American football team, our team, had a brand new stadium. The Mariners have a brand new stadium, and I guess they wanted a brand new stadium too. And they didn't get one. They were playing at a place called Key Arena, but they're thinking about building a really nice a new basketball stadium or whatever you call it, and maybe that will um, induce a team. Maybe they'll buy a team. It's kind of something kind of weird about buying and selling a whole sports team, you know? Some kind of makes me uncomfortable about it. I mean, I know it's not, you're not really selling the people, but you really are selling people, you know, in a way. It kind of gives me the creeps, you know. But let's see what else. I wrote down descriptions. I don't want to go into that yet. Because that's going to take a whole tape. I was going to people ask me where I'm from. Like I said before, this is Washington State I'm in. And I moved out here. I've been living out here 25 years. It does not seems like just the other day I got off the train with my son and four suitcases, you know. And but it has been 25 years. Um I came from Washington D.C. actually when I moved out here. Before that, as a kid, we lived in Los Angeles, and we lived in Richmond, and we lived in Richmond, and we lived somewhere else, and in Virginia, where I was born, in Suffolk, Virginia, where I was born. Um, as an adult, I lived, of course, all the places I lived, as I just mentioned, as a child, a school kid, and then I lived in South Carolina because I was stationed there. I lived in San Diego because I had temporary duty there. We called it TAD. The Army calls it TDY. Um, Temporary duty there, and then of course, like I said before, Okinawa. I was stationed in Okinawa for quite a while, and then then I got out, went back to Washington D.C. Actually was 7 months pregnant when I got out of the military, but my time was up. I wasn't one of those girls that got pregnant just to get out. I had a 4-year enlistment. I pulled every day but 14 days. And I actually got discharged in at Camp Pendleton in California, and then I came back to DC. And I was blessed that I could stay home with my son till he was 2, you know. And then I put him in school, and then I got a job at a little, shop. And then pretty much um, after I got that job, I did a couple of, little temporary jobs, whatever. And then I got a job at a really nice, exclusive leather and gold shop. And what I found, as far as people with money and people without money, this is for, my grandmother always said, well, I found this out when I was in college the first time. My grandmother used to say, there's a difference between having money and being wealthy. And I found that out in college, and I found that out working with people who have money. Um, uh, because it was such an exclusive sort of shop, they had there were a lot of rich kids working there, who really didn't have to work. They were just, they had a degree, so they figured, they'll be a manager of a store, and it was really nice stuff there. So, one that kind of thing. And what I found out actually, and the building where it was it was called the Crystal City Underground. It really actually was under the Pentagon, the Pentagon. It was actually under there. And uh, like I said, it was very exclusive, like Hartman luggage and Anye bags, and that kind of stuff. And they had a lot of jewelry, and they had briefcases and wallets and that kind of thing, some really nice things. And what I found was that the people who gave me the trouble weren't the wealthy people, who lived, in the actual Crystal City underground. I mean, not the underground. There were apartment buildings, high-rise apartment buildings over top of the offices and all that stuff like that. Um, they never gave you any trouble. The wealthy people never gave you any trouble. It was those little G1s and twos and threes, those government, little workers, like at that time, back in that day, 81-ish, 80. two-ish. No, wait. No, it had to be a little bit later than that because Michael was, let me see, two. So I'll say 83-ish, 84-ish, round in there. um they were probably making 10,000, $15,000 a year, something like maybe 10. I want to say 10. um they were the ones that gave you the hardest time. They were the ones that would take up your time, and you'd stand there. We weren't, I'm trying to think. No, we weren't on commission. But they would worry you to death and make you show them all this stuff and make you show them all this um jewelry, and just waste your time and never ever bought anything. They were the worst. I hated even seeing them come in, because you could tell them. Wherein the wealthy people really didn't give you too much of a, really didn't give you too much of a problem. I never met anybody really famous. Sandra Day O'Connor came in. I sold her a necklace. And I didn't even know who she was. She actually bought a gold chain. I didn't even know who she was. I mean, it's not like you see Supreme Court justices on TV dancing or something. You don't know who they are. And I didn't know who she was until she handed me the check, for to pay for. I still remember she bought a herringbone, like a thick herringbone necklace. It might have been about 18 inches. And wow, how can I remember that so long ago? And I can't remember if I put deodorant on. I'll get all the way dressed and take everything off and go back. But yeah, I remember that, and I remember I didn't know who she was until I looked down at the check and it said Joe O'Connor and Sandra Day O'Connor. And I went, oh my gosh, And I had just been, well, whatever. But yeah, that was like the famousest person, I guess, that came into the store. There were a lot of really wealthy people that came in there. Um, but like I said, they 99% of the time they gave you no trouble at all. It was the poor people that, you know, gave you the most trouble. Um, and a lot of people that actually worked in the in the mall, actually came in a lot. Um, and they were kind of nice, like the shop girls and the people who worked, and a lot of the cleaning people. We'd have like sales, and we'd hip them to it. Hey, well, everything's 60% off. And then they'd come in. They were okay. It's just that little middle class, that little, well, quote unquote, kind of lower middle class, sort of, got those little G3, 4 jobs, and they think that you're their slave and you're there to entertain them, and there was one kind of cute man that used to come in there. I think he was kind of interested. I don't know. I don't remember. It was just too much stuff going on right then at that time. And then after I worked there, I that's when I got my job with the Pentagon at the Navy Annex. And then I worked there until I moved out here. And I worked for temp service. I was a Kelly girl when we moved out here, and there was lots of work. I mean, there was always work. I was turning work down. But it's just so crazy, especially now since I've been changing a career and looking for work and stuff. It's incredible. There's no temp work except, warehouse stuff and junk like that when they, call you at 6 o'clock in the morning and they want you at some warehouse at 7. I don't think so. you know and it's just really weird. I refuse to believe that the job market is that desperate. It can't possibly be that desperate. you know if unemployment is what, 7%, then that means 93% of people are working. So that means it's jobs out there. But like I've said before, I can't change sexes, I can't get younger, and I can't change my color. And I think that has a lot to do with it, even though we try to pretend that kind of thing doesn't go on anymore. Nobody's going to hire anyone that they think is going to be trouble. And whites want to work around whites, so there won't be any quote unquote trouble. They don't have to watch what they say, blah, blah, blah. Men don't want women around because they're afraid of a sexual harassment, suit. So, okay, that's enough of my grimy amours. I am going to start on my next. I'm going to watch this one, and then I'm going to do descriptions. So I'll talk to you later.